We have all seen them, heard them, read them. I don't know anyone who hasn't been exposed to them to a greater or lesser degree. Conspiracy theories. But do we know what they really are? And more importantly, should we listen to them or not? Are they telling us important things we need to know, or are they dangerous distractions? Let's start with definitions and go from there. What is a conspiracy theory? A good definition is a theory asserting that a secret of great importance is being kept from the public. This can be for benevolent or sinister reasons. They can involve natural events or man-made events. This can involve what happened centuries ago or last week. The key aspect that is common to every conspiracy theory is that it is something known to a very few individuals who are trying to share it with others who cannot verify the theory personally. One person or 100 or 1,000 claims to have witnessed something. No one else is able or willing to confirm this information. No one else has any real way to prove or disprove the ideas being shared. The best others can do is to believe or disbelieve them based on the persuasiveness of their arguments or personality. In the end, you must place trust in another human being, since you cannot prove it yourself. One of the key aspects of a conspiracy theory is that it is not backed up by inspiration. If a true prophet says something on any issue, we must take that as accurate based on our confidence in God's messenger. This is, of course, an act of faith as well. But if we are convinced a person who claims the prophetic gift is telling the truth, then this demonstrates faith in God, not in a person. Once prophets demonstrate that they are delivering messages from God, then as long as they continue to reinforce what previous inspiration has said, then we can trust their statements. When Daniel and John the Revelator were given information about secret, behind-the-scene events of history, their writings became truth that we can rely on, because they are a product of inspiration. This means their messages come directly from God. When Nostradamus gave descriptions of secret, behind-the-scene events of history, his writings only qualify as conspiracy theories, because he never demonstrated the qualifications of a true prophet. So a basic premise is that conspiracy theories and inspiration are mutually exclusive. We must make this distinction as we listen to what is being said out there. The next question is, what would not qualify as a conspiracy theory? As previously mentioned, Daniel predicting world empires and John describing countries at the end of history are not conspiracy theories. They are revelations given to them by God. In the same way, Noah preaching to the antediluvians about a coming flood is not a conspiracy theory. God told Noah what was going to happen. Noah repeated it. Also, Noah himself had no knowledge of the truth or falsity of the flood until it happened. Noah did not have secret information that he knew personally. He simply repeated what God had revealed to him. Another example is Ellen White recording Roman Catholic plans historically and now. Much of what she wrote cannot be verified from historical sources, so many accuse her of promoting conspiracy theories. But since her ministry has passed the test of a true prophet, her writings are inspiration-based and therefore trustworthy for those who believe in the spirit of prophecy throughout 6,000 years of world history. That again means her revelations are never conspiracy theories, as inspiration and conspiracy theories are, by definition, mutually exclusive. Next, we need to know examples that manifest as conspiracy theories. I am going to make a list of categories and then give examples of each type. I won't spend long on this, as I am simply clarifying what we are already familiar with instinctively. Number 1. Historical. Who really shot John F. Kennedy? Number 2. Cryptozoological. Is Bigfoot or the Loch Ness Monster real? Number 3. Aliens. Did a UFO crash in Roswell, New Mexico? Number 4, antiquity. Who really built the pyramids? Number 5, cosmological. Is the Earth going to be hit by a killer asteroid? Number 6, scientific. Is the Earth flat? Number 7, meteorological. Is HAARP in Alaska controlling the weather? Number 8, health. Were AIDS, Ebola, COVID created artificially to kill people? Number 9, political. Who really makes the decisions in Washington, D.C.? Number 10, international. Is the global elite trying to change society? And number 11, religious. Who out there is a secret Jesuit? These are our main categories, with inevitable blending by various specific theories. What I find interesting is that Adventists tend to ignore the categories at the beginning of this list, but are very interested in the latter ones. Finally, the most important question of all: so what? Are conspiracy theories dangerous? Here are the problems of conspiracies, in no specific order. A conspiracy can never be conclusively proven, ever. This is because we can never witness personally what others tell us about. We must put our trust in another human, and that is always dangerous. A conspiracy can only be conclusively disproven with extensive effort. Many conspiracies are eventually proven wrong, but it usually takes a lot of work. When a conspiracy is disproven, the original conspiracy is immediately replaced or modified. This forces the need to disprove the new version all over again. This is called moving the goalposts. When we confuse conspiracy theories and inspiration, we damage our witnessing effort to non-believers. When we say to them, "There will be a terrorist attack in Nashville," and then we say, "There will be a Sunday law in America," we imply to non-believers that these predictions come from the same source. When the first prediction, based on a conspiracy theory, is proven false, then the second prediction, based on inspiration, is going to be ignored as well, since people don't like the boy who cried wolf. Witnessing is hard enough without undercutting it with false conspiracy notions. There are so many conspiracy theories being promoted that most are self-contradictory. 50 versions of who shot JFK are talked about. There can be, at most, one correct version. Only a few options of any particular topic can be true, if any of them are true. So we know automatically that most conspiracy theories are lies, just by default, and we must choose between them and whatever true version exists. This immediately creates our next problem. Enormous effort must be expended by sincere observers to research and then settle on the true version. Other people agree with whatever they hear without expending any effort to confirm or deny it. But this is much worse, since they are going with emotion or preconceptions rather than anything factual. Let's assume we can finally settle on the one true, accurate, definitive version of all the available conspiracy theories on a given topic. Now what? What can you do about it? Now seriously, I'm asking, what can you or I do about what is being done in Rome or DC or Brussels or wherever? We have no power to change anything, stop anything, or expose anything to make it better. This is the deadly problem at the core of all conspiracies, that we can't fix something wrong even if it is true. A false idea here is that we can stop a conspiracy by getting the right official elected. This is not true for several reasons. History has shown us that things never get better by changing administrations. The conspiracies are still there, and no one in power stops anything. But even more fundamentally, if the conspiracy theories are right, then those behind the scenes who really call the shots are not going to be stopped by any new person getting elected. They will simply absorb the new person and corrupt them like they have corrupted all the previous people. If things really are as bad as conspiracy theories claim, then they are also immune to any human attempts to reform them. These many reasons are why I reject all conspiracy theories on principle. Not because all of them are untrue. I am convinced some conspiracies are absolutely true. I just have no idea which ones. And I have no time or motivation to try to figure it out. And to be honest, neither do you. No matter what your profession or lifestyle, there are more important things to do with your life than focusing on things we cannot control. Heart preparation is not advanced by finding out what the bad guys are doing. That only leads to fear, anger, and frustration. These emotions are not helpful to our spiritual life. Ellen White warned us not to get distracted by side issues. Let's take a look at testimonies to ministers and gospel workers. My soul is much burdened, for I know what is before us. Every conceivable deception will be brought to bear upon those who have not a daily, living connection with God. In our work, no side issues must be advanced until there has been a thorough examination of the ideas entertained, that it may be ascertained from what source they have originated. Satan's angels are wise to do evil, and they will create that which some will claim to be advanced light, will proclaim as new and wonderful things. And yet, while in some respects the message is truth, it will be mingled with men's inventions and will teach for doctrines the commandments of men. If there was ever a time when we should watch and pray in real earnest, it is now. There may be supposable things that appear as good things, and yet they need to be carefully considered with much prayer, for they are specious devices of the enemy to lead souls in a path which lies so close to the path of truth that it will be scarcely distinguishable from the path which leads to holiness and heaven. But the eye of faith may discern that it is diverging from the right path, though almost imperceptibly. At first it may be thought positively right, but after a while it is seen to be widely divergent from the path of safety, from the path which leads to holiness and heaven. My brethren, I warn you to make straight paths for your feet, lest the lame be turned out of the way. Testimonies to Ministers and Gospel Workers, 229. I inquired why those who could read their Bibles and see the perils of these last days were so ready to snatch up matters they had best let alone. How can they connect with men who are advancing principles that originated in the councils of demons? Why do they not see that this is no work the Lord has set them to do? Testimonies to Ministers and Gospel Workers, 333. The big movements of world events are not in our control. They are in God's control. Let Him worry about these issues, because He knows what is really going on. He knows which version is true and which isn't. He knows what to do about it, too. I will trust that He is directing world events and that nothing happens without His permission. This brings peace and allows us to focus on the things God has actually asked us to do. Let's stick with the reliable and proven inspiration that we have available to us, and not get sidetracked with things we can't verify and can't fix.